ready to know the truth together? We're going to do this right now, you guys. Take a deep breath into the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling again. Exhaling out. I recognize right here and right now there's a power that be. There's a power within me and a power within you. I recognize right now there's all answers, there's all connection, there's all love, there's all innovation, there's all prosperity, there's all abundance. I recognize right here and right now this is a divine day to know the truth of who we are and set into truth of living in alignment with what really matters to us and moving past loneliness, depression, sadness, all that we have that power. And I reclaim the power. You've always had the power. You will always have the power. You have it right now. I know right here in this divine presence that all healing is done through truth, through love, through connection. I say, as together we say, and so it is. Good morning, you guys. How are you? How's everyone? Okay, we're going to dive into this. Hi, you guys. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for spending your mornings with me. It means the world to me to be in service together, to know the truth for the world. Our minds are very powerful. The one divine mind is so powerful, you guys. You have the power right now to shift yourself and shifting through the entire universe, helping people across the globe, dealing with the loneliness that they're going through today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so let's do this thing. So do you guys know that, there's a lot of people dealing with loneliness, sadness, and depression. It's been an epidemic before the quarantine, before the pandemic. We recognize that there's 264 million people around the globe that are depressed. Okay, depression is a very extreme thing. So we're going to break on down what is depression, what is loneliness, what is anxiety, how do we deal with it, and will it end with the quarantine? No, it will not. We know that, right? So we've got to deal with it. So it doesn't matter if we're in quarantine or not. This is an epidemic. It's a cultural and global epidemic. So let's break this on down, okay? So first of all, before we begin, if you or anyone you know is dealing with depression, I want to just say that there is a phone line and it is called, there's help available basically. It's Lifeline. It is 800. It's not my phone number. It is a service for depression for people who really need to talk, okay? It's Lifeline. It's 800-273-TALK, T-A-L-K. Okay, so please, if you know anyone that needs help, please give them that number. So personal story around sadness and depression. As many of you guys know, I dealt with depression when I was in my teens. I had bulimia from the time I was 17 to 20. I went through a major depression through codependency, and I've never ever been wanted to take my life. I've had the question of do I want to live, but I've never got suicidal, if you will. But so I don't know the full extent of it. So I'm trying to relate at a level I can. I know there are people that get so depressed they cannot leave their houses. They are bedridden through it. And I've never experienced that, and my heart and compassion goes out for that. But there is a spectrum, okay? So when I'm working with clients, there's a spectrum of people in sadness and depression. So we need to understand this first, okay? So on one spectrum is you're really happy, okay? You're fulfilled, you're thriving, you're whatever it is, right? And it goes down. There's not a spectrum. One day someone doesn't wake up and they're depressed. It is a spectrum that happens in consciousness. So what happens is basically you begin to get upset in life. You feel like you're the effect, like you can't really truly create what you want to create. And then you begin to get a little sad. And then the sadness compounds and it begins to get into, sadness or anxiety, all these things. It goes all the way down to full out depression. This is where we have, addiction and dis-ease and all kinds of things we ever hear, right? So there's a spectrum. So how do we actually restore the consciousness? Because what we're doing as spiritual, coaches, as restoring consciousness, as healers, as whatever. I'm a doctor because we heal through revealing the truth. So what I do with a client is basically we begin to restore the true identity. We restore all the times, and it is acknowledging over and over again where they've handed their power over, all the failed expectations, all the upsets, expressing, and having them come to the realization and epiphany at some level they chose to have the consciousness that they're the effect of the world. And so as I begin to restore of how they chose to place the value out there, to feel like they were, having failed expectations, we begin to restore consciousness, okay? But so right now there's a book, it's called Lost Connections. It's called Uncovering the Real Causes of Depression. and the unexpected solutions. So there's this gentleman called Johann Hari, and he has a New York Times bestseller, and his book is really about his own personal story. He was a teenager and he was dealing with depression, and he went to the doctor as a teen, and the doctor said, look, it's just something's wrong with your brain. You just need to take this antidepressant, and then, it all will be solved. So he started antidepressants, and he began to go down this track, and he began to have, he felt better for short periods, and then it would come back. So then his doctor would up his antidepressants, and then it would come back again. So about 13 years after being on antidepressants, he went, you know what? This is not a solution. This is like a Band-Aid put it on. So what's really going on? So he set out to basically interview the top of the top professionals and experts in the realm of depression and anxiety and loneliness and what's really going on, right? So he began to literally interview the top of the top of the top. And they came to realize that yes, there can be biological things, but now we recognize that even through biology of belief and stuff, that your genes are upregulated or downregulated by how stressed out you are by the environment that you're putting yourself in. So really, it doesn't even really necessarily come down to biology so much. It always comes down to consciousness, okay? Second is lifestyle. So we have to ask ourselves, whether we're in quarantine, whether we're in this pandemic, look, the reality is that our culture has never been more connected and more lonely. We are the loneliest culture in all of history, okay? So how do we deal with this? Because it's not going to go away after quarantine. We need to get really clear of what our values are. And people will say, well, it's because of social media, it's because of whatever. It's not because of that. That is the outpicturing of what's happened through our materialism, through shifting the values and valuing things more than human connection. From a universal standpoint and from a spiritual perspective, there are two primary things that we need, okay? We need connection and we need expression. Of course, we need food, we need shelter and all those things, but we need connection and expression. Okay, I'm going to say it again, connection and expression. And we can't get connected through the phone. There's only so much that we use, and he uses a great analogy of porn, right? That we need love, we need intimacy. If we're just looking for something, it's not like that's the worst evil thing, but it's who looks at that, right? It's like, how much are you actually getting into intimacy? How much are you actually getting into connection? Because the soul desires connection and expression. It's not going to be fulfilled through the internet. It's not going to be fulfilled through how many likes you have on social media or what your status is on social media. So it's a false thing. We are tribal. We need connection. We need community. It's how we are. We are spiritual beings. We are one. We're not individuals. We are connected cosmically. We're connected at all levels. So today, as we go on today, I invite you to take a look at, are you just having a false sense of being, connected? Are you getting it through just social media? Are you getting it through technology? Are you getting it through whatever? Obviously right now you have to, because you have to connect through your family through Zoom or whatever. But what's your reality? What is your reality around the people that really care about you? So there's some stats that went down, but basically years back, if you were asked, how many people could you actually call if you actually really needed help? And it used to be that there was 5 people in people's lives that they could actually feel like they would really be there for them if they went through something hard or financially or whatever it is. Now, there's lots of people that will say none. There's lots of people that say, I don't have one person in my life that truly knows me. I don't have one person that truly would be there for me, or one person that really even truly knows me. So I invite us all, forget just having a little chat and here and there with some friends or on, your family, whatever. Get deep. Do you really know them? And what we seek, we have to give. So the universe says that whatever it is that we seek, we actually have to give that. So if you're really seeking to be known, to be heard, to be seen, I'm going to invite you to actually reach out to a couple people in your life. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's friends, and really set the intention, I really want to build our relationship. I want to build it. I want to know you. What are your dreams? What are your fears? What are you going through? How can I support you? Really, really, truly getting to know people. What is that? Maybe you start with one person in your life. Maybe you start with 5 people in your life. Maybe you have 11 people, whatever that is, but begin to really set the intention. And I truly believe that you should have what we call inner circle. We should have people who really is in your inner circle? Who do you call and check in with daily, weekly, and know them and be there for them and check in on not only the good times, but the bad times too. So this is something that we have to do. We recognize that money and wealth is not going to fulfill us. We know this. The Harvard study showed that after $70,000, yes, you need those things to sustain somewhat happiness. That then beyond that, how much is that? Beyond $70,000, maybe a little bit more in LA, right? But how much more do we need to really be fulfilled? It doesn't necessarily mean we're happy. money does not equate to happiness. Okay, so many people think if I just had more money, then it would all work. Then I won't be lonely. Then I won't be depressed. Then I won't be sad. No, it's the same with health. We think if we just feel better, it's not necessarily the case. The case is that it comes down to what we truly need, which is love and connection. And I love so many of you on here. I see so many amazing people on here. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. And my commitment through all this is to get to know you guys more and be there even weekly. You know, I have many friends that we reach out, you know, and have reunions and whatever, but who's actually there weekly? Who do we actually know? Who would we call when we're having hard times? And yes, so in that, I just want to say a few quotes before we get into a prayer. We pray every single morning here at 9 a.m., you guys, PST, noon EST, Eastern Standard Time, and we pray at 5 p.m. at UK time, okay? Prayer means that we don't look to a man in the sky. Prayer means that we get our mind right. We steep ourselves in truth. Hi, Jazz. And we steep ourselves in truth, and we know the truth so we can come together as a community. I know that I'm lack some ways in community. Even though I build a huge community and we have an inner circle, that's one of the biggest things out of this, to recognize that we need to build more community. We need community. This is the time in history. This is what is teaching us that we can no longer be lonely and sad and depressed. Like, we have to do it. It's not going to happen for us. And it's not going to happen through social media. We've got to get off this platform, you guys. We've got to get into conversation, into intimacy, into those things, okay? So Paulo Coelho said, all stress, anxiety, depression is caused when we ignore who we are and start living to please others, okay? So many of our false connections are through the technology. We have to, of course, know ourselves, go within, birth the true self of who we are, and connect both. I believe that we need both. We need connection to source, to divine, to our true higher self, and we need connection that are real connections, not false connections. Who's actually going to be there for you? Not just when you're having a great day, but when you're having a shitty day, okay? Who's really there for you when you don't have money? When someone would say, you know what, you're going through a hard time, I'm there for you. What do you need? How can I help you? And this is who you have to ask. Are you that for somebody, or are you just, you know, are you only there when somebody's going through a good time, right? Oh, you guys, I love you guys so much. You have no idea. I love you guys so much. So I know today is all about recognizing that loneliness will not end when the quarantine ends, okay? We have to come together more as community. We have to pick 5 people in your life that you check in every week, that you really, really like hold in your heart, that you really want to get to know deeper and deeper and deeper. I recognize so many over there, so let's take a deep breath together, knowing this for the whole world, you guys. We all deserve love and connection. We all deserve love and connection, expression. Coming in a deep breath together. And exhaling out. Inhaling again. Yes, yes, yes. Love me, I love you. Yes, yes, yes. I say yes to ending of loneliness, ending of depression, ending of sadness. There are answers. There's recognized right now that there's a power in me. There's a power in you that can go beyond, that can restore from going depressed to sad to apathy to anxiety to upset to anger to all these things, that there is a restoration within, that there's a power that where we handed it over, where we said we cannot do this, where the effect of life, where we give up, where we're apathetic, where we have failed expectations, there is a restoration. And I know it's possible. I know it's possible for not us just individually, but collectively. And we got to wake up, you guys. We got to wake up today and know we can do this. We have the power. We're meant to be together. We're tribal. We are the pack dogs. We are the wolves. We are that. We have been designed to be together, not divided. We stand together. We rise together. We live together. We are that. We are the love and connection. I recognize, please reach out, you guys. Reach out to one person, 5 people, 11 people today. Get to know them. Ask them, how can you help? How can I help you? I want to know community, knowing that as we commune together, that this is where brilliance happens. This is where miracles happen. This is where all things are manifested. There is a coming together, and in that coming together, things are born, right? Through sex, through friendship, through creative factor, through partnership and business. There is this art and everlasting expression infinitely together, expressing together. I say yes, yes, yes. So together we say, and so it is, you guys. Okay, have a beautiful day, you guys. And if you are first on here, I'm Dr. Erin. I'm a doctor of divinity. I teach metaphysics. I'm actually a New Thought minister, which teaching basically how the power of mind, how our mind, our conscious mind, is connected and forms the subconscious mind. And it connects and is one with the subjective mind that is with the universal law and goes out and reflects back together. We recognize that all of life is spirituality, meaning everything is Everything is born of spirit. Everything is the out picture and the reality from spirit consciousness, that factor that is creative within each and every one of us. So we do have a free community in Soulciety. I've put it on here. If you're on Instagram, you can't see it on here, but all the other platforms, it is all below the URL, which is soulciety.com/inner circle. If you're on Instagram, you can simply go to my bio and it will say inner circle or free community. We've got on there, we've got actually support groups through the ambassadors. Every week you can actually jump on a Zoom call for an hour, turn on your video, turn on your audio, and actually connect with human beings and get some transformational distinctions for yourself, and know that it's so important to know thyself and also get clear of living your truth. I truly believe that loneliness, anxiety, and depression are brilliance, wisdom speaking through that you're not living your truth. So today I know this is our possible. Yes. I love all of you guys. Have a beautiful day. And also of course, it's less than 2 weeks, you guys. We are doing the leadership group. If you're somebody that wants to launch your business online or scale your business online, we are doing $997 versus $5,000 for a lifelong program with me that is, I promise you, it is extraordinary, okay? So less than 2 weeks left for that. It will close out for sure. Yes, this is a pitch because I truly believe that there is an exchange of value through money, and money is important for all of us to claim as well, okay? I love you so much, Letitia. Have a beautiful day, you guys, and may you live your truth. That's the most important thing. Live your truth. Live your truth. This isn't dress rehearsal, you guys. This is it. This is not dress rehearsal. This is your life. Have a beautiful